let's play some Wretched and Alone. This is an amazing, really hard game. I think it's not possible to win. We will see how far we will go, or we can go. You play a lone survivor of a horrific attack. I don't want to make it too horror, but we will see. There are two possible ways to win the game. We could activate our distress beacon, survive long enough for someone to hear it, and then continue to survive long enough for them to get to us. Or we could fix our engines and leave the creature drifting in our wake. All the other ways are failure for us. We do have this lovely tumbling tower. This tower represents the state of our ship. If it falls, we lose, basically. So we're going to roll die, and we have to pull 4 blocks from the tower. So I have cheated. We should do it with one hand. We then have a normal poker deck with the jokers removed, and we're going to record our first audio log. Day 1, salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. The other members of the crew are dead, and the engines remain non-operational, though the ship integrity remains good and life support systems are still active. I successfully jettisoned the intruder from the airlock, but it remains alive and continues to try to access the ship. With a little luck, I can repair the distress beacon and somebody will pick me up. This is Chen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. So let me grab something quickly. I'm going to use my cards here if we need names or words. We could also use it as the poker cards, but I think space theme-wise this is better. Okay, roll your die and throw that number of cards from the deck. Keep them face down. We're starting with 4. Turn over the first card you drew and consult the operations manual. If the operation manual asks you to do a specific thing, do it. Continue turning over cards, and then we discard the cards. Phase 2. Take a moment to consider the events of the day. Keep in mind what you have learned about the state of your ship, the actions of the creature, and how you're feeling. Record your audio log for the day. Cool. Let's just start. We have a 9 of clubs, which represents the crew. Make a list of the 5 best hiding places on the ship in the event that you need to use them. Let's see what we can find. Tool, maybe hiding in the workshop. Route, maybe in the cockpit. Medicinal, maybe in the doctor's office. Let's see what we can find. That was a 3. Alcohol, maybe in the bar. And spice in the kitchen. The workshop, a cockpit, the doctor's office, a bar, and a kitchen. 2 of hearts. The system. The water purification system still works, but it's noticeably less efficient. What does it feel like to drink water that smells faintly of ammonia? Maybe scary? It's scary to drink water smells like ammonia. Maybe we're scared of getting a disease? 9 of diamonds. Your gravity drive fails. It's a long, slow process, dragging yourself over to it with no gravity, and a long day fixing it. But you managed to get it back up and running. Pull from the tower. So, okay. 5 diamonds. You access one of the landing modules and hope that you can use it to escape the ship. But the asteroid that struck before your engine failed damaged it beyond repair. You jettison it into the black in the hope that it will distract the creature. Pull from the tower. That was the black one. Okay, that was the 4 cards. So now, that was day 1. Take a moment to consider the event of the day, keeping in mind what you have learned about the state of your ship and actions of the creature and how you're feeling. Record your audio log for the day. So day 1, salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Jen reporting. Today I was looking around for some hiding spots for the creature. I was a bit scared to drink the water because it smelled of ammonia and I don't want to get sick. But after a hard day working on my gravity, that felt water was necessary. I was able to get into the landing module, but it didn't work anymore, so I had to jettison it into the black void. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. That was the first day. Day 2. 3 cards. 7 of spades. It's a creature, I believe. The creature whispers to you through the ship's comms. You don't know how it does it. What do you hear before you kill the audio pulled from the tower? Let's see. Choose, maybe. Hear the creature say choose. And we have to pull from the tower. Okay. 6 of clubs. One of the crew told you all about the terrible dream they had a few days before the creature came. In hindsight, they were having a premonition of what was about to happen. Why did you all ignore them? It sounded crazy. There's the word rage. Maybe crew member was raging a lot. So our crew member Connor, he was yelling a lot and getting angry a few of times each day, so we tended to not really listen to him anymore. And the last card, 6 of hearts. Your scanners keep showing a large object that periodically disappears from the screen only to show up again a few hours later. Is there something out there or is it a glitch? Let's see, there's a yes or no on the card. Yes, but maybe blast a big object, but we see the blast of like the engine, so we see them moving away from us. So we did have a slower day, not many cards, not many pulls. So let's go to day 2, salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Jen reporting. Today I was able to operate on the comm system and I heard the creature, or the creature said choose, choose, choose. Only thing I heard before I killed the comm system. I was thinking about Connor, my crewmate. He had some rage problems, and I remember that he dreamt about this event, and no one listened because we stopped listening to him a while ago. And I did see a large object on the scanner, but I saw his engine blasts from time to time, so I know that they're facing away from us. So I don't think this is a chance for me to be safe. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. And that was day 2. Day 3. 1. 8 of spades. You didn't see the creature properly because you were hiding, but you heard it. What did it sound like? Pull from the tower. Heavy. So it sounded heavy. Pull from the tower. So day 3, salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. Today I took a day off. I was too tired and I was stupid tired, so I didn't want to get my problems messier than they are. So I somehow bit given up. But I was able to hear the creature moving around, and it sounded heavy, like slow but heavy moves. So that's that. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. And this is day 4. 2. 4 of diamonds. The creature detaches one of the habitat modules and sets it adrift in space. You manage to seal off the area of the ship before the creature can gain real access. Pull from the tower. So I get a lot of private and team, maybe one of the quarters. We have to pull from the tower, which I don't want to. And 4 of hearts. Your comm system blinks into life, picking up garbled chatter from far-off vessels. It falls silent before you can signal to them. What were they saying? I think it's the ship that we saw. Maybe listen to instructions? Okay, no pull. So, day 4, salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. Half of the team quarters are gone. The creature was able to jettison them into space. I was able to seal off the breach, and I was able to pick up over the comms to listen to someone instruct. I heard some instructions that were told over the comms, but I wasn't able to talk to them, and yeah, I don't think I can survive this. This is Chen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. Okay, day 5. 5 cards. 4 of clubs. Where did you hide while the rest of the crew were dining? In the kitchen, maybe? Picnic. I was in the kitchen. Okay. 10 of spades. The creature. You find something left behind by the creature. Blood or a body part or something you can't quite explain. Describe it. Ooh. Maybe something like a flat piece of his armored skin, maybe? Something like a scale pulled from the tower, of course. 10 of diamonds. That's a crew, I believe. With the climate control on the frizz, mold springs up in some of your food stores. You can't fix it, so you just seal the locker up and hope that nothing affects the rest of your supplies. Pull from the tower. I don't like the state of this tower. Jack of Spades, the creature. The creature can survive out in the cold black of space, where nothing should be able to live. Is it coming into your territory to destroy you, or is it simply defending its domain? Let's see. Guard. Guard, we were in his domain. Pull from the tower. Oi. I just saw that I put the tower back the wrong way. The two on the bottom are the same way around. Last card, Jack of Hearts. You spend the day climbing around in the engines, doing basic maintenance and trying to figure out what needs to be done to get the ship moving again. You end the day as clueless as you began. Pull from the tower. Day 5. Salvage ship the Wretched, Flight Engineer Jen reporting. I was in the kitchen today and I saw the spot where I was hiding when the attack began, which left me with a weird feeling. I also saw a lot of mold that's spreading in the kitchen. I don't like that. I can't get sick now. I also found a flat piece of his armored skin, like a scale, a fishy scale or a dragon scale. It was hard, and I think he's guarding his domain. I think we were in the wrong spot at the wrong time. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. And that's day 5. We're now on day 6 with 2 cards. Jack of Diamonds. You lose power throughout the ship, and while you're trying to fix it, the backup generator fails too. You manage to restore power, but you need to cannibalize parts from the backup generator, which will never work again. Pull from the tower. Do not replace this block at the top of the tower, remove it from the game instead. Ace of Spades. You find a way to distract the creature from its attempts to gain access to the ship. What is it? If you have previously drawn the King of Spades, you may shuffle it back into the deck. I don't have a king yet. Or watch me draw it in the next turn. How we distract him? Oil could be cool. Oil and flame. We're spreading some oil at the lock and it holds the creature back. Day 6, Salvage ship directed. Flight Engineer Chen reporting. The backup generator is dead. It will never work again. I had to use his parts. But I had a little victory. I spread some oil on the airlock, which helped holding the creature back. Sadly, it was the last oil that I could find, and I would love to cover more parts of the ship. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. One card for day 7. 8 of Diamonds. A fire starts in one of the engines while you are attempting to get the ship going again. You are forced to jettison it. Pull from the tower. There are not many tiles left. Day 7, Salvage ship the Wretched, Flight Engineer Jen reporting. Of course, a fire in the engine while I was trying to fix it. So I lost the engine, I had to jettison it into the void. This is not going to end well. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. 3. Queen of Hearts. The door lock system fails while you are in the bridge, and you have to spend a few hours forcing the doors open so you can get out. Pull from the tower. 2 of Diamonds. Shortly before your engines failed, the ship was struck by a small asteroid that didn't appear on the scanners. Oxygen was slowly been leaking out of the hull where it hit, but you spent a few hours fixing it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This one is fair game. Seven of Hearts. You had to climb up into a narrow crawl space to fix some faulty lighting. What was it like squeezed in there between the cables and the hull of the ship? Pulled from the tower. Temperature, maybe it was cold? Pull from the tower. Okay. Day 8. Salvage ship The Wretched. Flight engineer Jen reporting. Today I had to fix everything. I was stuck between the doors. Oxygen was leaking out into space. I had to go inside a room full of cables where it was dark and cold, ice cold. But I didn't hear the creature today, so that was a good day. This is Chen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. 3 more cards. Day 9. 8 of Clubs. Which member of the crew jumped into harm's way to try and protect the others? And how much time did they buy you all? Sky? Sky was the crew member trying to save us. Therapy, maybe the doc? Sky crew member, the doc, trying to save us. We don't have to pull from the tower. Thank God. 9 of Spades. Despite the thick hull of the ship separating you from the creature outside, you somehow know when it's near your section of the ship. How? So we determined that it was heavy, and I think the hull will like give up this, this mechanical moaning. We have to pull from the tower. Last card for the day, 3 of Diamonds. After you threw the creature out of the airlock, it spent hours trying to get through the windows of the observatory deck, the only glass on the ship. You fear their integrity has been compromised, so you spend an hour reinforcing them by welding sheets of metal over the inside. Pull from the tower. Day 9. Salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. I was thinking about Sky, our doctor on board. He had trying to save a lot of our crew members, but he was too late. Way too late. And again I heard the moaning of the hull whenever the creature moves, which is a sound I don't want to hear anymore. And now I had to weld metal over the observatory glass because I was afraid that it would break. I heard him near this part of the ship. This is Chen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. 5 card. Eight of Hearts. What does it feel like to look at the sensors and the monitors and see nothing? How does it feel to know that you may never see land or light or have a conversation again? Low. Low, low, low. We don't have to pull, at least. The first king, not good. King of Diamonds. When you launched a creature out of the airlock, you couldn't seal it again. Every now and then the creature comes back to that hole in the side of your ship, scratching and prying at the single internal door that separates you from the cold black of space. How do you react to this? Do not discard this card. Place it where you can see it. If this is the fourth king, which it is not, it's the first. I have respect on it. Yeah, I have respect. I have respect for the airlock and tend to not go there. Queen of Spades. What do you imagine the creature calls itself? Let's see. Alice. Maybe. Becca. Don't know. Crack. Maybe he calls himself Crack. I will call him Crack. Pull from the tower. Forgot about that. Conveniently. Ace of Diamonds. After a short but terrifying EVA, you managed to boost the range of the Wretched's antenna. How did you ensure that the creature would not attack you while you were outside the ship? View stars. So I was trying to move on the dark side of the space. Maybe it was giving up some light from a planet, and I moved on the dark side. Do not discard this card, instead put it to one side so that you will remember you have drawn it. When the distress beacon is active, a roll of 5 or 6 is sufficient to remove a token from it. Last card. Jack of Clubs. You gather together the bodies of the crew you were close to and seal them in the remaining airlock, saying a few words of remembrance over their bodies, but you can't quite bring yourself to jettison them. What words do you say, and why is it so hard to send them out into space? So we had Karina and Xiu, where we were closest to, but we prepared for this trip for years. And we knew each other in and out. Okay, pull from the tower. Day 10. Salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. I was on a real big low today. I was trying to remove the bodies of Corinna and Xiu from my crew out of the airlock, but I wasn't able to bring it over me to jettison them out. We were preparing for this trip for years. We knew everything from each other, in and out, and that was a big low. I will never see Earth again. I just know it. So for that, I respect the airlock too much and I tend to not go there anymore. Before that, I did make EVA and I moved on the dark side of the ship so the creature would not see me. I heard a crack and decided this was his new name. I'm so over this. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. Day 11. 5 of Spades. Something happened to the lights when the creature was near your hiding place. What was it? Pull from the tower. Colorful. It changed color. Pull from the tower. And 6 of Spades. You find yourself muttering a short phrase over and over again, like a catechism. What is it? Maybe cattle fart, stomach ajar? We pull from the tower. Oh yeah. Day 11. Salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. The lights started to change color when the creature is moving over them. Don't know what that is all about. I start to get loopy. Maybe I haven't slept well these days, and I started to chant the cattle fart, stomach jar over and over again. I'm going crazy. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. Day 12. 10 of clubs. One of the crew died while holding a teddy bear his daughter gave him. What was the bear's name? Baxter. His name was Baxter. I put the bear closer to him. Day 12. Salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Jen reporting. Today I found Baxter, the little teddy bear that my crewmate Hamish was holding from his daughter, and I put it back in his arms. That was a hard part. That was enough for me to do today. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. Day 13. 6. This will be the end. 4 of Spades. Down one of the long straight corridors between rooms on the ship, you follow gaps in the wall and the floor left by the creature. Describe them and which part of its anatomy you think left those tracks behind. Pull from the tower. So there are dents in the metal because of his mass, because of his heavy weight, and I think it was from his body. 5 of clubs. You have been carrying a rifle with you for a few days now, pried it out of the cold grip of a dead crewmate's hand. How did that make you feel, and do you think the rifle will be effective if you need to use it? So the rifle was in a private room, let's say the captain, and I felt like invading his privacy being there. We don't have to pull. Ace of clubs. While rummaging through the crew quarters, you found a tool you've been in need of. What was it? The next time you are told to pull from the tower, you may choose not to. Yes. Tobacco. It was tobacco. Used it all. 3 of hearts. My slept fire suppression system was activated. What caused the fire, and how will you make sure it doesn't happen again? Let's see. Output. Pollute. Pollute. Okay, maybe some sort of gas output. And we removed the gas. That was 3. Pull from the tower. I will maybe pull from the tower. Five of Hearts. You've been finding it harder and harder to catch your breath, and eventually it dawned on you that the oxygen system had shut itself off. You fixed it, but what caused it to break? The connection was temporary. Out. Pull from the tower. And 9 of Hearts. The proximity alarms keep sounding because the creature is on the outside of the ship. You had to disable them. Pull from the tower. I did not think we will survive that day. So, day 13, salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. The body weight of the creature dented the metal quite hard inside the ship. I was invading the captain's privacy while grabbing the rifle from his hand. I don't think that it will help me against the creature, looking at the scale he was leaving behind, but I found tobacco in one of the crew's quarters and just used all of it. I thought it was the tobacco that got me to not breathe, but we had a connection loss of the oxygen and the gas output caught fire, so I almost got myself killed there. And today I was done with the proximity alarms. I disabled them because the creature keep alarming us. I know he's there. I don't need the alarms. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. 2. There are not many cards left. Queen of Clubs. You spend the day clearing bodies out of a small room that you intend to hole up in it if the creature gets aboard again. What was it supposed before this happened, and why were there so many people here when the creature came pulled from the tower? Running. Maybe it was like the gym with a lot of gym equipment that they were trying to throw at the creature. That doesn't look good. 7 o'clock. Before the creature came, you were in the very early stages of pursuing a relationship with another member of the crew. What was the last thing you said to them, and why do you regret it? I was impolite to her. I think it would be Corinna, and I don't have to pull from the tower. Day 14. Salvage ship the Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. I was thinking about Corinna today, and how impolite I was to her on the last day. I hope she can forgive me. And I cleaned out the gym. People were there to grab gym equipment to throw at the creature, and this could be a great hiding spot. So let's hope for the best. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. Oh man. So we have 2 of Spades. Today you felt like giving up. You couldn't summon any energy and your tasks weren't complete. Return any cards you haven't yet turned over to the deck and shuffle it. So I don't have any card, and we have to pull from the tower, but I feel this is a great time to give up our Joker, that we don't have to pull from the tower. So, day 15, solid ship, the wretched flight engineer Chen reporting. I will give up. I had no intention to do anything on the ship. I was just sad, lonely, tired, and just laid in bed the whole day, doing nothing. This is Chen, the last survivor of the wretched, signing off. This is day 16. 3 cards. Now it's coming, of course. After days of trying, you have finally managed to repair your distress beacon and activate it. Pull from the tower. Do not discard this card. Instead, put it to one side and place 10 tokens on it. At the end of each day, after recording your log, roll your die. On a result of 6 or 5, remove a token from the card. If we successfully remove all the tokens, someone would respond to us. Here are the tokens. This is the die I'm going to use, but we have to pull from the tower, and I think this is the last pull. Okay. Three of clubs. You had to use someone else's ID to access an area of the ship, normally forbidden to you. Whose ID was it, and what were you doing there? Accountant. I think the knife. The security guard, we took his idea to go into the weapon chamber and grab a knife. We don't have to pull. A second king, of course. As you're passing the officer's mess, you try to avert your eyes from the carnage inside, but you're sure you saw something move amongst the bodies of your crewmates. What do you think it was? Do not discard this card. If this is the fourth king, it's the second. What was that? Maybe a laser light? Day 16. Salvage ship, the wretched flight engineer Chen reporting. Finally, breakthrough. I was able to fix the beacon. Now I just have to hope that someone will hear us. This is a small victory for me. As soon as I fixed the beacon, I saw a laser light coming through into the mess of the ship. I don't know where it's from or what it's supposed to be, but it scared me. But I do now have a knife to hopefully work against the creature. This is Jen, the last survivor of the Wretched, signing off. So now we need a 5 or a 6. A 6. Okay. 9 more times. I have 8 cards left. Well, that's not going to work. Day 17, 4 cards. Queen of Diamonds. You spend the day taking the engine apart completely and putting back together in attempt to fix it, but you're not sure exactly how to do that, and you suspect that you may have caused more damage than you fixed. Pull from the tower. Do not replace this block at the top of the tower. Remove it from the game instead. Third king, King of Hearts. You hear a skittering, scrapping sound in the air vents, and you fear the creature or something else may have got aboard the ship. How will you make sure you don't attract its attention? Overheat. I will overheat the system, which will be my downfall. Place it where you can see if this is the fourth king, third, and here's the fourth. Past few nights you have been dreaming about the creature. What happens in your dreams? If this is the fourth king you have drawn, the creature has gained access to the wretched and it has finally found you. The game is over. So let's use that dream Day 17, salvage ship The Wretched, flight engineer Chen reporting. I was fixing the engine, trying to, and I think I caused more harm than actually helping myself. I was trying to overheat the system so that the creature would not go into the air vents, and when I went to sleep, I dreamed of the creature grabbing me and found out that wasn't a dream. The creature actually was able to find me, and that was it. This is Jen signing off. What a game. I was able to survive without tower falling. Let's see how many we can pull before it does. Two was the answer. Okay. What an amazing game. I have a few more. If you would like to see them, please let me know. And let me know if you were able to beat the game, because I don't. And if you beat it, how? Please, how? So I hope you liked it. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!